There's no forcing or pushing. We are all on our different timeline. And some people are simply not ready, and that is okay. This is for if you feel like there's a burden on your heart that you want to look at and that you are ready to start examining and changing. Then this is for you. Now, sit, relax, get in a position where you feel the absolute most comfortable and safe. I have my little Halloween ball. Because as humans, we are attracted to that darkness, to some form of fear, like roller coasters, scary movies. Because eternally, in our natural state, we are forever. We are light, we are love, we are the same. And I imagine that can be quite monotonous after a while. So we come to this place of polarity to learn, to spend time in that dark and the shadow, to expand, to truly know ourselves again, with conflict, with pain, and find ourselves again through love, through challenge. Now, there are a wide spectrum of attachment styles, and an innocent example would be my 8-year-old has a stuffy of a cow, her absolute security blanket that's almost disintegrated because she has loved it since birth, or close to it. So now she's absolutely attached to it. I'm absolutely attached to it. Is this a bad thing? Absolutely not. Not in my opinion. We are meant to explore this human experience. We are meant to have connections with the world around us. And this cherished stuffy represents love and safety and family, harmony, all beautiful things. So this attachment, truly special, and I think nothing wrong with this. It's all about intention. Now some other pretty harmless examples would be, you have coffee every day, you can't live without it. Sure, there's caffeine in it. Does it bring you joy and soothing? Is it ruining your life? Will you survive without it? But do you prefer to have it in your life because it brings you so much joy? That's fine. It's about intent, true enjoyment. Because we're not meant to continually suffer. You have to find those things that bring you joy. Do you have something in your house that you've been working toward for years? A vision? Maybe a pool? And you spend a lot of money on this pool. Is it a necessity? No, of course not. Does it bring you and your family so much joy? Because you can spend time together, have fun together, have experiences together, enjoy the sunshine. Yes. Why is this wrong? I don't believe it is. Now, when does it start to enter that unhealthy line? Perhaps if you start looking for houses and you're embarrassed status, collecting things, luxury items, to fit in with trends, to feel a certain way about yourself, to collect items to feel rich, to feel abundant. That is where we might cross a line to unhealthy attachment. Because our goal really is neutrality. I want to encourage you to love your surroundings, love what you have, cherish it, have gratitude for your belongings, for who you are, for what you have. But it's when you start to change that core belief system and who you are inside, just to chase trends or to feel better about yourself, to increase your mood, that's when you should consider, is this because I love it and it brings me joy, or do I need it? Is it making me feel a certain type of way? And then we cross into addiction. That utter desperate need. That life force draining, soul draining, compulsion, need to do this thing. To be out of our mind and our body. To simply exist. And it could be anything. Shopping, food, alcohol, drugs, whatever it is. And now I want you to close your eyes and put your hands on your body in some way that feels the best. You can put it on your heart. You can hold yourself, because many of us have not been held or loved or acknowledged the way we need in this life, which is why we develop these habits and needs. And I want you to just sit quietly for a moment. Scan from your head down your body to your toes. Release all the tension and feel light. Start to notice sensations in your body. Start to think about those things in your life that you cannot live without. And you know what they are. Is it lighter? Is it something less severe? Like that shoe collection you have. Not so harmful, but there's still attachment tied to it. Or is it something more serious? Like alcohol, binge eating. Now, as you hold yourself in whatever way feels good, sit with that need, that compulsion, that addiction, that attachment, whatever it is. What is the first feeling that comes to you? How does having this attachment make you feel? Whatever comes up, allow it to come up. It doesn't matter how ugly the feeling is. If it's shame, disappointment, regret, pain, let it arise for however long it wants to. And this is what I want you to do next. If you get anything out of this video, it's this. I want you to release all judgment. I want you to forgive yourself for this attachment. want you to release the shame. I want you to realize that it's not your fault. But here is the important difference. Some programs that you might enter if you are trying to kick addiction could lead you to believe that you are powerless, that you have no power, and once you're an addict, you are always an addict. And I absolutely believe that is not true. Now, if you go to programs and they help you, I'm not telling you to stop doing that. Do whatever is serving you at this time, because we always grow and evolve. So at some point, you could look for something else. I am just sharing my experience and my knowledge and my healing abilities. Now, if you're looking at this from a soul level, spirituality, quantum healing, you have absolute power over yourself and your life. If you are ready to give up this addiction, whatever it might be, I want you to realize that you do have the power to stop. And on a quantum level, when you finally energetically give up that attachment, you quite literally quantum shift to another version of yourself, another timeline of you that never had that addiction. So once you make that energetic shift, and it's not easy, it takes time, it takes practice, it takes healing and purging. But once you do that, you will immediately feel the difference, and you will no longer have that need to chase that crutch, that addiction, because you are living in a new version of yourself that never had that problem to begin with. And I believe that if you believe that you have no power, that you will have that addiction. You will have that underlying energy for the rest of your life. That is possible. But if you actually channel that power within yourself, connect it with the divine, with your higher self, consciously make the decision to stop as you keep trying to purge and heal yourself, and chances are you will fumble over and over and over again until you get there, and that is okay. Release that judgment, release the shame, and that's not to say that give yourself a free pass and continue what you're doing. That is to say, to acknowledge, be aware of the situation, to sit with yourself and the uncomfortable feelings that arise with it. Let them go, and just do your very best every day. But I truly believe that once you are able to make that shift and cut energetic ties from that attachment, that it is possible to never feel that need for that addiction again. And I have waited to address this topic because I don't like talking about things that I haven't mastered, that I haven't experienced. And I have truly shifted from all of those things. So I want to share that it is possible, and that no, I don't believe you are powerless. In fact, it's when you finally embrace that power that you will see true life-changing change. want you to bring up all of those ugly emotions, and they serve a purpose. They are showing you, enlightening what you want to change, what is not serving you. Bring up those emotions and bring up the attachments that you have in your life. We're going to gently brush it away. Now, most of us have some kind of tower moment, earth-shattering event that forces us to finally wake up and look at situations in our life. And alcohol served me for many, many years because I physically could not handle just simply existing in my own body, because the amount of trauma that I was holding on to in my quantum field, in my body, in my life, was unbearable. So I simply could not go day to day existing with all of that pain and trauma, all the emotions that I felt about myself, the self-loathing, the belief that I was not worthy, good enough, the belief that I wasn't lovable. Because when your trauma starts when you're a child, you simply believe the circumstances that are placed before you because you just do not know better. So it took so many years of living through those beliefs and numbing the feelings to finally realize on the other side that none of it was true. But I did whatever I could to numb those feelings within myself for as long as possible. And there was such shame about that fact. And then, of course, the feelings of shame, disappointment, failure of having this crutch perpetuated the cycle. And my own tower moment was a cancer diagnosis. And something shifted within me that I gave it up cold turkey and never needed it again. But I still had that stored trauma within me, so I still had crutches that I reached for, like food. And again, if you have trauma all the way from birth, you have very limited resources at your disposal on how to cope. You might have your favorite stuffy, but then again, some of us don't even have those things. So what do you have? Your little body didn't know what it needed. It just knew it needed some soothing in any way that it could get it. And for many people, that's food. And that was the very last crutch that I gave up. It was the hardest one to give up, way more than alcohol, because you need food to live. And because that was my oldest, most deeply ingrained crutch and self-soothing mechanism, that I quite literally grieved it. I was angry, I was pissed, I was so mad that the universe was asking me to give this up. I did not want to, because it was safety for me. It was utter safety, because I still could not regulate myself in the way that I wanted. But once I had gone through all of my healing, my purging, my trauma healing, the universe said, okay, it's time to stop. You no longer need this crutch. It allowed me to hold that crutch as long as I needed it for so many years. So never feel bad if you do have a crutch that you are leaning on to support you as you heal. There is nothing wrong with it. yes, we want to give up those things. But, however, you can get through the trauma, the pain, and then finally heal it and let it all go. Let go of the shame for needing help. So once all of my own healing and trauma was done, the universe said, it's now or never, give it up. And I threw my own little hissy fit because this was tied to my childhood. And I was mad, I was so mad, but I said, fine, I agreed. And then I surrendered, which are two totally different things. When you agree, when you make a change, and you're still holding on to that anger, that's resistance. In your body, you're still resisting it, even though your mind is saying, yes, I need to give this up, but I hate it. But then, when you keep switching your perspective, saying, okay, I am healed, I truly no longer need this, and this crutch is operating from a place of scarcity, then I finally surrendered and allowed my body to completely give it up for good. I immediately felt that difference. I felt a calm wash all over me. I felt it melt away physically from my body. So if you need to grieve, go ahead and grieve. I grieved many things that were bad for me, giving them up, because they served you in some way for so long. And I realized, I always thought, okay, the alcohol is dangerous, could kill you, this is terrible, this is bad, I don't want to have this attachment. But I always thought the binge eating, the food support was relatively harmless in the grand scheme of things. I'm like, okay, so I had more food than I needed. Whatever, it's helping me cope. But I realized that that was still a form of emotional suppression and avoidance. And that is how you accumulate stored trauma to begin with. So I was continuing that cycle by that avoidance. And when you have these crutches, they're coming from a place of survival, lack mindset, safety, scarcity. Most of it is coming from your root chakra. And once I purged all that trauma and finally gave up my last crutch, I felt absolutely completely like a different person, like I had never had that addiction to begin with. So we are going to your solar plexus of self-confidence, personal power, worth, and the belief that you absolutely do have the power to make changes in your life and to make them last forever. It all comes down to energy, your body, your quantum field, and using your reality and your power to, once you finally are able to heal yourself, to make that change, quantum shift, and create that life that you want, that version of yourself that never had those addictions to begin with. And again, I say, if you are in programs that don't teach you that, stick with what is helping you. Just know that this is another option and another idea in case it resonates. also comes with generational trauma. Long lines of people, family members who have had the same traumas and addictions. So the other thing that comes with these addictions and this need and the crutches and the self-soothing and avoidance is also healing that generational trauma so that it ends with you and your children never have to experience the same atrocities, pain, ugliness. So when you are healing your own addictions, it is the most selfless thing you can do. It is the most powerful thing you can do for the generations to come. So I want you to remember that when you're thinking about, do I actually have the power to change? You have so much power that you can change your future generations for so many years to come. And then it's so important to remember that you come to this life as an eternal soul to experience pain and darkness, to transmute it into power. And you have some unique gifts. Once you can heal your own trauma, remove the addictions, you uncover who you truly are beneath. And I do believe the more you experience, the more pain, heartache, and trauma, the bigger calling you have in this life. So when you switch your perspective, everything is happening to me, I have no control, and everything keeps perpetuating, everything is horrible, and I have no control. And switch your perspective too. These horrible circumstances are teaching me something I never would have looked at otherwise. I want you to look again inward and think of these attachments, these addictions. Would I have learned certain things about myself and my abilities if I had never experienced this? This is not to dismiss what you have felt and gone through. This is to empower you. This is to help shift your mindset. Because a mindset shift and a perspective shift is one of the most powerful tools to begin your healing journey and to make it last and stick. How did these pains, this trauma, these addictions help mold you and forge you into who you are today? How can you feel more powerful so that you can end these addictions for good? And I'm not saying this is an overnight change. For me, it absolutely was not. It took years. So if you fumble, if you make mistakes, if you have to try again and again, I want you to forgive yourself, to love yourself. The most important thing you can do is love yourself. Give yourself grace, and just do your very best. And if you are consistent with those practices, I have every faith that it is possible for you to change forever. Now, Now put your hands to your solar plexus, right at your rib cage above your belly button, and start to feel a sense of power. And if you can't, it's okay. I am channeling inner power, inner strength, confidence. Support to help you through this difficult journey. But I know you have it within you. If you are ready. Imagine this light going from your crown all the way down to your solar plexus, lighting up your center until it is radiating outside of you. I want you to consider the fact that you do absolutely have the power. You are not powerless. Saying that you're powerless is giving away all of your ability to heal yourself forever and for good. Just because you were an addict at one point does not mean you always have this addiction. That is just my belief. And I want you to think, could that be possible if it resonates with you? Because I truly believe the only way I gave up my own addictions is because I finally believed in my power and that I could do it. And I did. They are well and truly gone, and I can be around alcohol, I can be around food, and I have no desires to fall into that spiral that I once had. It has absolutely no appeal to me anymore. That is not me trying to elicit any sensations or show off or anything. I share my stories, my pain, and my past to help empower others who might be going through the same thing, who hear this narrative from so many people that I am powerless. Therefore, there's nothing I can do about it, so I surrender. And that bothers something within me, because we keep handing away our power, and that only perpetuates addiction and all of the issues that we have in our life, all of the programs that we have running in our body because of our beliefs. We believe we're powerless, so we are always going to perpetuate that in our life. And there is so much more for you. If there's even one person I can help to believe of their inner power, then I will be happy. Again, I want to reiterate, if you see medical professionals, go ahead and do that. And if you go to other meetings that are helpful for you, go ahead and do whatever is helping you. I'm here to spread my own experiences and beliefs to help whoever it resonates with, because I love you. And I believe we can all do this with the right support, and by seeing that it was possible for others like myself. Our brain is actually a receiver. Our memories, our thoughts, our patterns are stored in our quantum field. And when we drink, when we do any kind of mind-altering substances that drain our life force, it is distorting your quantum field. And that means the signals that you're receiving are distorted. They're not clear. It's like static in your field. And so things, you don't get messages, you feel disconnected from your higher self, from the universe, and that perpetuates more fear because you feel so alone, so disconnected. That's why it's also so important to think about these addictions in another way. If I can stop them, I can clear my field. I can feel and see more clearly. I can compute information from the universe. I can feel more safe in my body. The universe and my higher self can help me if they can reach me. And if your quantum field is distorted by trauma, by addictions, by so many different factors, it is harder to reach you. And most of us have these attachments and these addictions because we do not feel safe. We do not feel comfortable existing in our own body. We have survived trauma after trauma, stress and fear and anxiety. And it is possible to purge that from your body. Heal that nervous system, fear and tension, fight or flight. Heal your body, because your physical vessel is what holds on to the trauma. So you are walking around with it every day, reminding yourself, running that program of fear, because you're physically holding it. That's why I do this work of trauma and nervous system healing, because truly it was so hard to change any patterns and really make life-changing changes in my life until I purged the trauma from my body. And so the first step is acknowledgement, awareness, letting go of the judgments, fostering that self-love, and making the conscious decision to begin healing. Those are the first things that you need. And then embodiment. Begin to try the best that you can to make those changes. And you will find that the rest will follow. You don't always need to understand everything that is happening, but you'll be able to see and feel the differences. Bring your awareness to your root chakra, your tailbone, your hip area, your sense of safety and grounding. Start these practices that calm you, relax you as much as possible, because that is what helps your body start to feel safe. The more your body feels safe, the closer you will get to your body finally releasing the trauma, because it will do so when it finally feels safe enough. if you still have any feelings of shame, fear, doubt, powerlessness, all of those things we feel, even if it's very deep within, try to bring them to the surface. And we will encourage them to release. To be human is to make mistakes, to fumble, to learn, to empower yourself, and to try over and over until you succeed. So do not feel bad. Do not have self-hatred and shame for what you're going through. That is the most important thing you can do if you take anything away from this today. Start with that. And it will have a snowball effect. And remember, if this resonates with you, you are not powerless. You have the power to change. And you might not feel it for a few years, but I want you to repeat it until you do feel it. That is how true, lasting change happens. And if somebody tells you that you are powerless, they might not be for you. And if that simply does not resonate at all, then I might not be for you, and that's okay. Now, if this was intense, just let everything drop. Let your body relax, and you can process more of this tomorrow, in the future, whenever you're ready. But for so many of us who face addiction and attachment, we are simply so lost. For all of the bad advice out there, for all of the disempowerment, for simply not knowing what to do next or how to cope. How do we cope with our day-to-day lives without these attachments and these crutches that support us in a way that we need? The truth is, it's so hard to find that support until you purge that trauma from your body, until you heal yourself. There are plenty of healthy coping mechanisms, but many of them will not satisfy until you can do that healing work. I believe. This was just food for thought, and I hope it resonates with someone. And I love you. I believe in